Hey guys, this is Matt with Grizzly-Outdoors. Today I'm going to do a quick video showing how to touch up heating your Kydex. On some of my sheaths, for example, the more robust, or the Bushcraft Black, stuff like that, I'll mold them with one knife because it's basically the same form. The blade's just a little bit thicker. So if I put like a clipper in the sheath, I'll heat a spot on the back and put a little dimple retention just at the tip of the blade just to get rid of the wobble. So sometimes if you want to fit a different knife in, a thicker knife or something like that, you either have to just loosen it up a little bit. In this case, this video is actually for a customer, so I'm going to show them how I do that. This knife, I put so it's way too snug. You can get it in, but it's way too snug for what you need. I've got a little bit of a dimple in back here. You can hardly even see it. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that and show the steps to doing that. Kind of how I heat. You're going to see me heating mostly on the back side is the green side, and the tan side is the front side. I'll be switching to the front side occasionally. The only reason I do that is because if you'll look down the line of it, if I heat just the back side, it'll curve out. So I got to warm it evenly so it stays straight. I'm going to do 3/4 of my heating on this back. So it doesn't take much. Got a heat gun. I'm just going to heat the back. Now I'm about 3 inches away. And once I'm going to test it to see how close it is. Yeah, 2.5, 3 inches away from the sheath. You don't ever want to hold that solid on because it'll glaze over your Kydex if you heat it too fast. So there it's loose. I can squeeze it actually all the way together. We'll hit it just a little more. You'll feel this is kind of squishy. So we'll slide the knife in now. And if you want, take and kind of squeeze it to where you want it and let it cool.
I got some wood.
Watch out, bud. Just a minute. So here that dimple is still there a little bit. If I want, I can take the knife and kind of push on it. Another trick, if you want to thicken it up, get more space, put a few layers of tape on this. Push it in. So right here you got, it's not falling out, no wobble on the sheath, but yet nice snap retention. Here you can see the difference. If you put it in like this, the knife's just going to fall out before it was hanging up. So all it takes is that little bit of heating. I'm going to go ahead and reheat this, put the dimple back in, and I'll do it one more time for you, kind of give you an idea of heating again. Alright, so I'm going to heat the back side. And actually I'm going to just heat the back side to show you what it does with the Kydex. Now if you can see that, it's starting to curve away from you. See that curve? If I heat the front side just lightly, it straightens back out. So there I've got this. And you're probably not going to see. You can push that down. So here I'm actually squeezing it tight. Just to put it back, I would never do this on a normal sheath. Just this example. You can see the divot there. So this is way too tight of a sheath. You can barely get the knife in. No sheath should ever be that tight. Okay? If you can hold that here, that's too much blade rub. Typically I've got about 6 layers of tape on any of my knives. If you're sitting here, put your knife in and it's snug, that's improperly made. We actually tape about 6 layers on the edge and several layers on the top. If you get sap on this knife, you want enough play in here that it won't stick your blade. So see, just letting this cool, that's what I'm talking. But so that dimple's in there again. You can get the knife in, but it's way too stiff. That's definitely not, you can see it's not, that's way too stiff without retention there. So, let me cool this off quick. Alright, one more time. This is cooled. The dimple's in the back side. Like I said, normally if there's any wobble, I'll just lightly heat this back side and have a little bit of pressure on this part of the blade. That typically doesn't affect much, but it gets rid of any wobble. So let's reheat this again. Again, 3 inches away. try not to heat it up too fast so it doesn't glaze. You don't want to sit there and hold it on. You'll still kind of test it and feel after a little bit. There, it's soft again. So now that it's soft, I can push the knife in. That'll get me the slack I need. No shake yet, so I'll kind of just hold it here, let it cool. I've got an air compressor, so it cools it a little quicker. One thing you want to do if you are using air, if I blow on the inside, it'll actually push it out because it's cooling the inside quicker. But so there, now we have, you can see the knife won't stay in, whereas before it was sticking. Get your snap retention, no wobble. So it just takes a little bit of heating on the back side if you want to tighten it or loosen it. Some knives, if I were to take this whole knife and press it with no tape on it, you know, it'd be tight everywhere. You can actually see here I've got we have prep pieces that go on the blade. This is about 10 layers of tape right initially here. You see it on the front side here. So when you're putting the knife in, the cutting edge has more room, so it's less chance to rub. We've also taped the blade with several layers this way and then over the top. So you should have a nice smooth in here. This should be pretty much no retention, and all the retention should be in this area. So I hope that helps. So I showed it a few times heating it up. You just heat it up, test it a few times, and get it where you want. Hope this helps. Have a good afternoon, guys.